Watching the News Channel 15 Highlight Zone with Glenn Marini. Sports coverage you can count on with the Highlight Zone starts now.
Clash of the Titans. It's a big rivalry.
Big red letters. It's always going to be hard fought.
It's special. You know, I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
Everyone looks forward to this game all year. Everybody looks at the calendar and they're like, man, when are we playing Schneider?
We're fighting for our lives, so to speak, and the urgency is there.
Well, the last time Schneider won the victory bell, George W. Bush was in the White House. The Office had just hit the airwaves, and Gwen Stefani's Hollaback Girl was all over the radio. Who could forget that? Hey, the year was 2005, and for Schneider fans, they were hoping the wait would end tonight. A win against Dwenger, and the Panthers would clinch the SAC title. Joe Whalen was at Zollner Stadium all night long and joins us now with more. Joe?
Yeah, Glenn, you know, it's a rivalry game that just transcends the win-loss column. Last year, Schneider beat the Saints in overtime by 1. They wanted to make a run to semi-state. 2 years ago, Dwenger won in double overtime, also by 1. In that season, the Saints marched all the way to the state finals. Schneider versus Bishop Dwenger. It's your Highlight Zone game of the week. Panthers coming in 7-0 on the season, looking to clinch a conference championship. Dwenger, an un-Dwenger-like 3-4 this year, hoping to get back to 500. And this was also un-Dwenger-like. Early in the first, Saints punting, it's a bad snap, and Schneider would take over at the 3-yard line in the first play of the drive for the Panthers. Janori Smith takes it in, and it's quickly a 7-zip game. Next possession, Schneider marching again. Play action pass, and Brandon Phelps hooks up with a big fella, Josh Spitnail. 12-yard gain, and then later in the drive, Alec Roy sheds a tackler, 16 yards to the house. It's 14-zip at that point. But how about that Panther defense? Raju Blackman, check out this hit. Huge collision, and then the offense keeps pouring it on. Early in the second, Tyrell Swain gets loose on the corner. This one goes for 78 yards. It's all Schneider at this point, but things go from bad to worse for Dwenger. Another botched snap on a punt attempt. This goes out the back of the end zone, so that's a safety. And then the ensuing kick, Nick Reese. The two-way standout's been making big plays all season long. Here's another addition for the highlight reel. 68-yard return. It was 36-zip at the half. Schneider claims their first SAC crown since 2005 with a dominating 43-0 win.
And it feels so great. That was our #1 goal. Our first goal of the year was to win SAC, and now it goes on to the playoffs, and this is our pregame for all playoffs. And, you know, if we play like this every playoff game, no one should stop us.
It's really unexplainable feeling. We've been working like all season for this, and it just feels good that it finally paid off for us. One of our goals before the game was to get on them early because we knew that we were going to have weather problems, and so we knew we had to get started and keep it on them.
I feel proud of these seniors. You know, they've busted their tails for 4 years and gone through some tough times with this group, and this is great for them.
Next week, Schneider wraps up the regular season against Wayne, while Dwenger travels to Lourdes in the Battle of the Bishops. But, Glenn, once again, the difference tonight, that dominating line for the Panthers, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, last year Schneider won this game by 1, and they went on to go to semi-state, lost to Penn. They already played Penn this year in the regular season and beat them, so perhaps some really, really big things ahead for this Schneider football team and Kurt Tippmann. Thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate it. Hey, we're sticking with the SAC. Allures going to Ohio for the second time this season. There's our man, the Diesel, Deshaun Thomas, out for this one. The Knights facing undefeated Columbus Hartley, and this is why they're undefeated. They can stick it to you. Charles Gaston upended by Trayvon Brown. Then it's Hartley's Jawan Woodley. This kid's going to play some college football at Toledo, breaking tackles. A big 24-yard gain right there. A little bit later on the drive, Marcellus Calhoun with a 5-yard touchdown right there. It was 40-0 Columbus Hartley at that point. Not the way the Knights wanted to travel, and then they would get on the board before it's all said and done. That's Tyvel Jemison with a touchdown right there. But Lures, another loss in Ohio. They lose to Hartley 40-7. At Jack Weicker Stadium, we're talking totem pole matchup, Northside at Southside. Now, Ryan Holskins warmed up at Northside, so they didn't take the field until right before kickoff, and you know what? Those conditions didn't help them out a whole lot. On the punt, The Redskins muff it. Southside recovers it with lead to this. Antonio McCoy, the kid, is the real McCoy. 7-zip Southside at Jack Weicker Stadium, but it was Northside's turn after that. C.J. Jackson rolling left. That's always good because the kid's left-handed. He would find Keon Brown for a 25-yard score, but it's still 7-6 Southside. Same score in the second. Jackson looking this time, rolling to his right, throwing across the body to Nick Cook for a touchdown, and Northside goes on to win this one big, 42-13. An absolutely gorgeous night at Spooler Stadium. Take a look at that. Northrop looking to bounce back after a Week 7 loss. Bruins taking on Wayne. Second quarter action, 13-zip Bruins. Under 30 seconds left. Colin Brockhouse to Spencer Coward. How big has Coward been? 19-zip Northrop at that point. 19 seconds left. You're thinking maybe squib it. That's what they do. Keon Powers picks it up out of the mud. Coach Robert Brown's probably saying, no, 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 yes. He goes all the way back for a touchdown. This game would go to double OT. Colin Brockhouse with the QB sneak on the 2-point attempt for Northrop as they edge Wayne 33-31 in double overtime. We're moving on to the NHC. The conference title chase is a two-horse race. Both Homestead and New Haven undefeated overall and in conference coming into the night. Those two set to square off next week. This week, however, no easy task for the Bulldogs. They had to deal with an East Noble team that put up 79 last week against Columbia City. First quarter action, we're scoreless when Nick Weimer, I should say, intercepted right there by Tabor Jordan. Second quarter, East Noble now up 3-zip. It's Weimer handing it to Walker Boiler for a touchdown there. 9-zip East Noble at that point. How about Kevin Ware? He's been doing a great job for New Haven all season long, but Ware would be intercepted by Brandon Mabel. We've seen him do it on offense. He does it on D. A big return right there for the junior. And then, because of the rain, East Noble couldn't go to the air, but Boyles does it again. Another touchdown right there as East Noble upsets New Haven 17-zip.
Can't let a loss just keep you down. And we knew after losing to Homestead that we weren't going to take another loss again, and we were going to fight as hard as we can to make sure that we wouldn't lose. And it feels great having an undefeated team get defeated by us.
Just get better every week and get ready for the playoffs because we're gonna keep taking steps, and when we get to the playoffs, we're gonna we just want to make some noise. We want to make a run. So.
East Noble plays at Belmont next week. New Haven gets Homestead. And speaking of those Homestead Spartans, with East Noble losing, a win by the Sparties, and they clinch at least a share of the conference title. Let's go out to those Norwell at Homestead highlights. Do we have them? It sounds like we do, but it appears that we don't. So I can tell you what happened. Homestead won this one 20-7. Frank Martin had over 100 yards and a touchdown for Homestead. So Homestead clinches at least a share of that NHC title and sets up a big game against New Haven next week where the Sparties can win it outright. Let's go to Columbia City now. The Eagles star Jared Murphy out for at least the rest of the regular season. He's got a fractured fibula. He's going to play college ball at Miami of Ohio. We wish him a quick recovery. You know what? This is the first play on their first possession for the Carroll Chargers, and it's Chris Terry to Justin Tranquil, 70 yards for a touchdown, 7-zip. And then it's Carroll's defense starting to step up. Alex Hammond, the nice diving interception right there. But you know what? Turnabout is fair play. Columbia City with a sack and strip there from Garrett Vandersall. Eagles recover. Travis Herbst in the second quarter uses the legs, then uses the arm to Travis Batchelder. That's a touchdown for the Eagles, but they could have used more than that as they fall to Carroll by a final of 20-6. Up at DeKalb, the Barons looking for their third win of the season. They haven't had that many wins since 2008. And we could go to some highlights, but it looks like we're having some technical problems. What I can tell you is that DeKalb would score the first touchdown on this one, but Belmont would come back and score 34 unanswered to win it 34-6. Well, the ACAC will be putting some miles on the tires. That's what they did last week. We had a big game out at Garrett tonight as Leo would battle Garrett in a game that would help decide who's going to win that ACAC championship. We're talking about Garrett and Leo plus Churubusco at Fairfield in NECC action. Those highlights from the road coming up next.